There's a champion chase going on, so let's pull some shards. Well, guys, look at this. Iudex Artor, Iudex Artor. Got Shamrock. Iudex Artor, Iudex Artor, Iudex Artor. And it goes down and down and down, and everyone's pulling Iudex Artor. And that's because there is a champion chase going on right now. And yeah, it's 2x Ancients. There's some of these points in here for whatever the event's called, just to get the soul for this dude. I haven't been participating in everything, but since pulling shards is easy, I can do that. I'm just going to go ahead and pull shards for this event and maybe hopefully get up to this soul stone. I don't even know if I actually have that many points, to be honest, but getting this should be relatively easy. And I mean, if we can pick up a book or something along the way, that would be dandy as well, right? We do actually have quite some ancients saved up. Remember, I don't spend money on this account. I haven't spent money on this account for a very long time, so anything you see here is purely from me just saving up from clown boss and events and whatnot. But we do have a remnants summon and a prism shard summon. Not to mention the Artor that you have been seeing there as well. We got that guy as well. We could also pull Yuzen if we need to. I didn't go for that fusion. I just picked up a couple of these fragments, and yeah, this is what I got out of it. I'll suggest I'll start off with this Prism Shard, just so we know what we're working with for points, right? So if we pull a legendary or not. It's going to be at least an epic, of course. Most likely an epic, but you never know. I've had a legendary a couple of times from one of these things, and yeah, it would be cool to pull one of these. So without further ado, let's go ahead and grab our epic, it seems like, and it's a Wuji. I don't really have any need for her, so she will most likely be food. We have one of these. My only pulled mythical so far has also been from one of these things, so hey, it's only 2.5% chance, but you gotta try. It's an epic, and it's Sanguinia. I don't need her either, so there's that. We will go ahead and pull our Artor here. Now, I haven't actually looked at this guy yet. I saw that he has like these... Yeah, there you go. He has like these... 3 balls hanging on a rope kind of thing. Funny enough, I think this is actually a weapon that was created in the place I'm living currently, in Belgium. If I'm not mistaken, if anyone knows their history better than I do, please correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's called a goeiendag, and it was invented in Belgium. But yeah, anyway, let's see what these 3 balls do. AoE heals all allies by 5% of this champion's max HP. Yeah, sure, that's fine. I mean, AoE AoE is always nice. This is attack up, strengthen all allies, 3-turn cooldown, and fills a turn meter by 15%. Decent move for sure. Decent. Revives an ally with 50% HP and 50% turn meter. Also places an increase attack buff on that ally for 1 turn. Activates the revive ally's default skill, targeting the enemy with the lowest HP on a 4-turn cooldown. I mean, it's not horrible. That's okay. I would say that's fine. 4-turn cooldown is kind of low, but you do get the attack in there as well, so you know. If an enemy is killed by an ally's default skill after being revived by this thing, Resets the cooldown. Okay, now that's kind of cool though. So it doesn't necessarily have to be on a 4-turn. If you actually kill somebody, you can also pick somebody up after that, right? So, all right. Yeah, is he game breaking? I wouldn't say he's game breaking, but he's useful at least, right? Speed in arena 25% is on the lower end for it. I mean, for a legendary, that should be 28 at least, probably 30 these days. His speed doesn't seem to be amazing either. Let's go in here real quick and check him out, what the speed is supposed to be. 102. Yeah, that's like fine, I guess, right? What are people saying? What? Demon Lord? I mean, I guess he brings strengthen and a bit of heal. He's probably fine there, but I don't know. I wouldn't give him much more than a 4. Probably more like a 3.5, to be honest. But anyway. Let's go and check what kind of points that were. That's normally 1,000 points, right? My math is correct. Yes, 1,000 points there. Okay. We'll just go ahead and collect this. I think I'm at my max energy anyway, so. All right. Nothing in here anymore. Nope. Okay, so that means we can start working on these ancients. Now, there is also a targeted champion here. One of these, what are they called again? Faction. Correct me here. I forget. Faction hero, faction champion kind of thing. So, Unity, faction, Unity champion. I don't remember what they're called. Anyway, they get bonuses when they pair up with other dudes from their faction. This one being Bladechorister Caldor from the Sylvan Watchers. So, what does he get? Each continuous heal buff on this champion increases their crit rate by 20%. Huh. Really? That could be busted really fast, actually. If you specifically build a team around this, that could get crazy really fast. Each time a continuous heal buff activates on this champion also fills their turn meter by 8%. Okay. Each time a continuous heal buff activates on this champion or an ally, increases this champion's damage by 5%, stacks up to 150%. Ooh. Okay, what do we have here, dude? An AoE on the A1, chance of stunning, will ignore resistance for each continuous heal buff on this champion. I don't know how good that is. But I mean, AoE A1 is pretty nice. Select the target. If the target is an enemy, decreases duration of all buffs by 1 turn, places poison on all enemies for 2 turns, additional poison for 2 turns for each continuous heal buff on this champion. Okay, these debuffs cannot be resisted. Then instantly activates. Oh, what? Come again? Puts a 5% poison debuff on all enemies. So 1 poison. Additional poison for each continuous heal buff. So stack 4 continuous heal buffs. I mean, that's not easy. Let's be honest. That's not easy. But let's just think about this. 4, it is possible, okay? It is possible. 4 of these buffs. So you're throwing out 5 poisons. They can't be resisted. You're getting 80% crit rate, by the way. So you don't even need crit rate on this dude if you can put up continuous heal buffs. Or at least 4. And then he just like pops those poisons. Like 5 poisons instantly. Boom. That's not bad. That's not bad. I think there's probably something here. If the target is an ally, increases duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 turn, instantly activates all continuous heal buffs on all allies. Perfect fail on this champion. Continuous heal buff on this champion. Another continuous heal buff for each alive ally for 2 turns. Wait. He basically puts the continuous heals on himself. Like, 4. If you're in a team of 5, he puts 4 on himself immediately, just like that. Finally, fills his champion's turn meter by 15% for each buff on or debuff placed by. What? So if you're targeting somebody and you have 4 continuous healed things on, you basically just get an extra turn, right? Essentially. And if you're doing it on yourself, you're getting perfect fail and 4 continuous heal buffs. That's 5 buffs. You're getting 75% turn meter, which is essentially almost another turn. That sounds like a lot here. Sounds like a lot. I don't know how broken this is or how bad it is, but it would seem pretty powerful in my opinion, especially because you have the choice of the 2, right? And then attacks one enemy before attacking has a 100% chance of removing all buffs from the target, placing decreased defense, weaken, will ignore 20% of target's resistance for each continue. Again, that thing is based on enemy max HP. Interesting. So I think this guy is a boss killer. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but this sounds like a boss killer. And then will ignore 15% of target's defense when attacking while under veil or perfect fail. He puts that up himself, so he more or less does that himself. This champion receives 30% less damage from enemies when not under veil. Okay. There's actually more stuff to this move as well if there's more faction allies. I don't know. I'm not going to read all that, but yeah, I don't know, man. He seems pretty dope, actually, right? He doesn't seem horrible. Definitely seems like you can do a lot of damage if you can set this guy up with the correct team. So, I don't know. I'm not sad to try and go for him. I don't have any of these faction champions yet, so let's just kick it off and see if we can pull a legendary here. I mean, most of these champions we're not going to be using for anything else than food. Maybe here and there an empowerment like the Skull Crusher might be an empowerment, but honestly most of these things are just going to be food. Skull Crusher, of course, still a very, very good champion, especially if you're just starting out. Can help you progress through the Demon Lord, of course, with the counterattacks, ally protection as well. But we're not here. We're here for gold, and it is. There we go, baby. I read the kit for you guys. Well, now at least I guess we can just read it now since we have him. I wasn't going to read him because I was like, well, we're not going to pull him anyway, but we did pull him, so here we go. This was a max HP nuke, I believe, right? So let's see what he gets if you can actually add some allies to that. One faction ally removes all buffs from all enemies. If the initial target is killed, this buff removal cannot be resisted. That's pretty cool. So you get like a buff strip on the other enemies on top of it. You already had like this buff strip, right? But then it's an irresistible one on the rest of the squad as well. 2 faction allies will ignore 5% of the target's defense for each poison debuff on them and each continuous heal buff on this champion. Again, that can add up really fast, right? We don't know what these guys' multipliers are, but I would assume that if you can put up 3 continuous heals, you're probably cooking with this guy. 3 faction allies. If the initial target is under a poison debuff, also attacks all other enemies. Okay. The damage dealt is proportional to the initial target's max HP and how many poison debuffs are on them. If the initial target is a boss or a minion, the damage dealt is equal to 10% of their max HP. So yeah, probably so that you don't just like one-shot all the other things. Goes down to a 3-turn. Well, I guess we'll have to build out a continuous heal Sylvan Watcher kind of thing, huh? Looks like my box is full here too, so let me see how many points we got real quick, and then I'll make some room and we'll pull the rest. I think I'll go up to this book. Yeah, probably go try and get up to this book. We definitely want to get up to this. That's for sure. But I'll make some room real quick and then I'll be right back. All right, guys. So I made some room. We're pretty much set for whenever there's another training gonna come because I got a bunch of 5-star chickens now. But we got some more shards here. We need what was it, like 2,000, a little less than 2,000 more points to get that book, I think. So let's hop right into it. A husk, can always use that to power up some of our built husks already. Armina, nothing too special there. I wouldn't recommend building her. This is one of the as is this. These are 2 epics for the fusion for Lady Mikage, but we already have her, so not looking for those. Cold Brawler was my first poisoner on this account, actually. Well, aside from Kale, that is. So I used the Cold Brawler for a very long time in the beginning. Really nice early game because you don't really need books for him. You can just use him raw like that. He works perfectly fine. Yeah, man. Pretty dope that we got this. Deacon, nice. I can power up one of my deacons. So 6 more shards. Let's see how many points we have and how many we need still here. Looks like we got the book. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna call it quits here. If like these guys want to jump over me for this legendary book, I don't think I'm gonna fight for that because, again, I'm not trying to whale out here. I thought maybe I'd go for this big stone here and maybe this mythical book as well, but I don't know. It's pretty steep, and yeah, I don't know. We're pretty dry on shards as it is, right? So I think I'm just gonna hold on to the rest that I have right now. We pulled a legendary. We got a legendary for free. I think we could say it's a good day today. Gives me some things to do. Oh yeah, I was gonna check real quick into Sylvan Watchers, and so we pulled this guy. Let's see if there's actually like things with continuous heal going on here. I think she puts up continuous heals. I could be mistaken. Whenever an ally loses... Okay, well, that's not very reliant. Oh, I thought she put up continuous heals. Not just like that. I know she puts them up, but it's also offer A1, so not necessarily a great way to do it. She doesn't do it for sure. No. She does heal, but not that way. I'm kind of curious, who puts that up? Does she put that up? She puts up 1. I don't have her, but she does do that. Maybe she does it too? No, she doesn't. Okay. Interesting. I'm wondering, okay, she puts up 2 of these on 1 target. Do you do it? Okay, he does too. So I guess there's a couple who do it. I just don't really have the ones that do. Unless there's somebody in here that I'm missing. You just heal off your passive? Yeah. What about Enda? No, that's an attack champion. Ornn doesn't. Do you put up continuous heal? You do. But only if you revive somebody. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure, man. Not sure. Surely there's no rares that do it, right? I don't think there's any rares that do it. Not that you're going to use that anywhere anyway, but just curious. Okay, huh. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. We're going to have to figure that out, because in theory, sounds really good, right? But if there's nobody putting up the continuous heal buffs... this guy actually puts up a lot of them if you can remove a bunch of debuffs. Huh. So yeah, I guess they do exist. Who the hell is this, dude? I mean, she looks super dope, but I have never seen this champion in my life. That is really cool. That is super cool, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen that champion. But okay, we're going to have to figure something out. Maybe there's a different faction champion that we can pair up with him and then use a couple of Sylvan Watchers together with him and try and make him work that way. But nonetheless, I'm stoked. This is a pretty cool champion to build a team around. He's my first faction champion, or whatever it's called. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. I hope you guys have some luck in your pools as well. And yeah, catch you guys next time. Peace.